Do you think that depression means staying in bed all day and neglecting responsibilities? Well, think again. High-functioning depression is the master of disguise. It lets you wear a mask of productivity while silently draining your energy and joy. Here's the shocker. Studies show that up to 30% of people with depression fall into this high-functioning category, and that's a massive chunk of the population battling an invisible war within. So, are you the life of the party but crave isolation at home? Do you slay deadlines but feel a nagging emptiness inside? If you answered yes, then this video is for you. Hello everyone, my name is Sandra Maria Gumansing, and in this video, I'll reveal the hidden symptoms of high-functioning depression and help you identify if it's holding you back. I'll also tell you the stories about the famous people who went through high-functioning depression. So stay with me until the end and don't forget to subscribe. High-functioning depression is like wearing a mask every day, pretending everything's okay when deep down you're struggling. It's not always easy to spot because on the surface, people with high-functioning depression may seem like they've got it all together. They're holding down a job, maintaining relationships, and going about their daily routines like everyone else. But inside, they're battling a constant feeling of emptiness, sadness, or numbness that just won't go away. One of the tricky things about high-functioning depression is that it often goes unnoticed, even by the person experiencing it. They might brush off their feelings as being tired or stressed, not realizing it's something more serious. And because they can keep up with their responsibilities, they may not seek help or support, thinking they can handle it independently. But here's the thing. High-functioning depression is still depression. It's not just a case of the blues or feeling down for a while. It's a legitimate mental health condition that can have a significant impact on a person's quality of life if left untreated. And just because someone seems to be managing well on the outside doesn't mean they're not struggling on the inside. Living with high-functioning depression can be exhausting. It's like carrying around a heavy weight that nobody else can see. You're constantly battling negative thoughts and feelings, but you feel like you must keep up appearances for the sake of others. It's a lonely place to be, feeling like you're putting on a show for the whole world while silently suffering inside. So it's quite possible that you may also be struggling with it. The tricky thing about high-functioning depression is that it can be tough to identify, even for ourselves. We keep pushing through, checking things off our to-do list, but that underlying low mood and lack of enthusiasm can be there, simmering just beneath the surface. Here's the thing. You're probably good at your work. You've likely mastered the art of appearing productive and put together. But just because you're functioning on the outside doesn't mean everything is sunshine and rainbows inside. There's a lot of symptoms you can count on. You might feel a general sense of emptiness or lack of emotional response to the things that used to bring you joy or sadness. It's like your emotions are on mute. Despite getting enough sleep, you might feel constantly drained and sluggish. Even small tasks can feel overwhelming. The things that used to excite you now feel like a chore. You struggle to find the energy or enthusiasm to initiate activities, work on projects, or even socialize. While not as extreme as other forms of depression, some people experience changes in sleep patterns or eating habits. You might sleep more but still feel tired or struggle to maintain a healthy appetite. So if you ever feel that nagging sense of emptiness, a struggle to find joy in things you used to love, or just a general lack of motivation despite your achievements, then high-functioning depression could be a possibility. Even bigger names like Mandisa were also going through it. Mandisa's journey was filled with ups and downs that mirrored the highs and lows of a chart-topping ballad. She seemed to have everything from her breakout stint on American Idol to her Grammy-winning success as a solo artist. But behind the glitz and glam, Mandisa was fighting a battle that few knew about: high-functioning depression. She was living the dream, rubbing shoulders with fellow contestants like Catherine McPhee and Chris Daughtry, but behind the scenes, she was wrestling with a monster that wouldn't let go, the relentless grip of depression. She smiled for the cameras and dazzled audiences with her performances, but inside, she was drowning in a sea of sadness and despair. After leaving Idol, Mandisa continued to make waves in the music industry, releasing hit albums and earning Grammy nominations along the way. But the real battle was happening offstage as she grappled with the loss of her best friend to breast cancer. The pain cut deep, sending Mandisa spiraling into a dark abyss abyss of depression and self-doubt. In her darkest moments, Mandisa turned to food, leading to a significant weight gain and a sense of isolation from the world around her. She felt like she was drowning, suffocating under the weight of her own emotion. It was a lonely place to be, trapped in a cycle of despair with no way out. But just when it seemed like all hope was lost, a ray of light pierced through the darkness. Mandisa's friends staged an intervention, showering her with love and support when she needed it the most. Their kindness was like a lifeline, pulling her back from the brink. With their encouragement, Mandisa began to confront her demons head-on, seeking counseling and therapy to address her depression. It wasn't easy. There were setbacks and struggles along the way, but she refused to give up. She fought tooth and nail to reclaim her life and her happiness, refusing to let depression define her. Slowly but surely, Mandisa began to find her way back to the light. She rediscovered her passion for music and embraced a newfound sense of purpose and joy. Her journey was far from over, but she was more robust and more resilient than ever before. In 2017, Mandisa made a triumphant comeback with her album Out of the Dark. She poured her heart out through her music, sharing her struggles with the world. It was her way of saying, hey, I've been through some tough times, but I'm still standing, and you can be too. Sadly, Mandisa died on April 18th, 2024, at the age of 47, and she did share her struggles with depression. Not only this, I have more stories to share. Halle Bailey, the star of The Little Mermaid, recently opened up about her very struggles with postpartum depression after welcoming her son, Halo, to the world. In a candid Snapchat video, she bravely shared her experience, revealing the intense challenges she's been facing. For Bailey, postpartum depression hit hard, making it difficult for her to be separated from her baby for more than 30 minutes without feeling overwhelmed. What's particularly tough for her is grappling with her post-baby body, feeling like she's inhabiting a completely different vessel. It's like looking in the mirror and seeing a stranger staring back. At just 24 years old, Bailey admitted that she underestimated the severity of postpartum depression before experiencing it firsthand. Now she likens the feeling to being caught in a stormy sea, desperately trying to keep her head above water. Despite her struggles, Bailey made it clear that her depression had nothing to do with her precious baby. It's about her internal battles and struggles with identity in this new chapter of her life. Adding to her challenges, Bailey revealed how hurtful gossip and negative comments about her and her family have triggered her even more. In sharing her story, Bailey wants people to understand that even those who seem to have it all together can be silently battling their demons. Alanis Morissette, renowned singer-songwriter, didn't shy away from sharing her experience with postpartum depression as well after giving birth to her third child in 2019. In a candid post on her website, she opened up about the challenges she faced. Alanis shared the gritty details of her experience, from hormonal roller coasters and sleepless nights to physical pain and feelings of isolation. She laid it all out. And let's not forget the challenge of juggling a new baby with older siblings and the strains on her marriage. But amidst all the chaos, Alanis didn't sugarcoat anything. She described postpartum depression as a sneaky monkey with a machete, highlighting its stealthy and destructive nature. Now, have you heard about Chesley Chris's story? Despite her successful career and being crowned Miss USA 2019, she battled with feelings of not being good enough and struggling with high-functioning depression. Chesley's recent memoir, By the Time You Read This, The Space Between Chesley's Smile and Mental Illness, co-written with her mother, April Simpkins, sheds light on her inner struggles. It's heartbreaking to learn that behind her radiant smile, she was fighting high-functioning depression. Amid her achievements, Chesley faced vicious trolling online, with some even telling her to end her own life. Can you imagine the pain she must have felt, the pressure to maintain an image of perfection while battling internal demons is unimaginable. Despite her accomplishments, Chesley felt like a failure and feared that others would see through it. Even winning Miss USA didn't silence her inner critic. Now, the question is, what could you do about high functioning depression? Well, first and foremost, it's essential to reach out for support. Whether talking to a trusted friend or family member, seeking therapy, or joining a support group, having a strong support system can make all the difference. Next, prioritize self-care. It might sound simple, but it's often the first thing to do when you're struggling with depression. Ensure you get enough sleep, eat nutritious meals, exercise regularly, and engage in activities that bring you joy. It's also important to set boundaries and learn to say no. When you're dealing with high functioning depression, it's easy to overcommit yourself and spread yourself too thin. But remember, putting yourself first and prioritizing your well-being is okay. Another helpful strategy is yet to practice mindfulness and relaxation techniques, whether it's meditation, deep breathing exercises, or simply taking a few moments to focus on the present moment. These practices can help calm your mind and reduce stress. And finally, don't be afraid to seek professional help if needed. Therapy can be incredibly beneficial for managing high-functioning depression, providing you with the tools and support you need to navigate your emotions and develop healthy coping strategies. So that's all for today. Before pressing the back button, consider pressing the subscribe and like buttons, and check out the links below if you or someone you know needs help.